host of the Gridiron.
Oh, yeah. Well, actually, I've seen that there's 5 candidates to replace him, and then there's I saw another article. There was a whole ton of them. Obviously, quite possibly not going to happen, but we'll have to wait and see. One thing, I mean, there was no guarantee given to Eberflus from the Bears, but he got let go. Right? I mean, that was, the thing was with him. I mean, the Bears have had so many close games, and they've had, just so many losses, like in all different ways. But the one that they had, the one here against the Lions, and I'll tell you what, that was it was very impressive. There was also a point there almost to me with Detroit. It was almost like every other play I was watching a Detroit player like hobble off the field, like getting injured. So yeah, I can't remember who it was, but one of the Detroit players, one of their linebackers, I think it was, he got injured. I think in that game, he's lost for the season. But the thing was, it was very, very impressive. It was that the Lions were like, just killing them. Oh, it was embarrassing. The yards, the time of possession, the point, just straight up, just embarrassing the Bears. But then the Bears in the second half, they just started coming back. But then, I guess, if you're coach, you should have better command, I guess, than what Eberflus had on a situation, because that final play, they had a timeout. There was like 30-something seconds left. And they get up to the line. Caleb's like calling signals and this and that and everything and whatever. And by the time he got the snap, I think it was 8 or 9, like 20-something seconds rolled off the clock. Over 20 seconds rolled off the clock. Then he gets the snap. They standing in the pocket. Part of it was his fault, maybe not knowing exactly how much time was left or whatever. But he's standing in the pocket, and then, but also it's kind of like if he threw a shorter pass, it would have been incomplete quicker. Might have been a second or two left on the game clock. But he threw the ball probably to the deepest receiver in the field, and it took so long in the air, and by the time it landed, the game was over. So you let 30-something seconds roll off for the final play. I mean, I guess they just had enough with the coach, and they wound up getting fired. Hopefully that doesn't happen at the table. But there's plenty of candidates, right? At this one here, 5 candidates who could replace Brian Daboll as the head coach. All right, first one, they got the Houston Texans offensive coordinator, Bobby Slowick. Slowick is an intriguing name, particularly for teams searching for the next offensive wonderkind. He's played a key role in C.J. Stroud's development and comes from the much-admired Kyle Shanahan coaching tree. That connection alone will earn him plenty of interviews. But he's ready to lead. Is he ready to lead an entire franchise? While Slowick has proven himself as a play caller, the leap from coordinator to head coach, especially in a market like New York, is massive, as Daboll's finding out, right? Giants need someone who can not only install a modern offense, but also manage the intense scrutiny that comes with the job. Slowick is worth considering, but he feels more like a long-term project than an immediate fix. Then we got Green Bay Packers offensive coordinator. Now, a lot of these you notice here are offensive coordinators. Adam Stenovich might not be a household name, but he's quietly established himself as one of the NFL's best offensive minds. A former offensive lineman, Stenovich's ability to design dominant run games while also elevating quarterback play has been a key factor in Green Bay's success. What makes him especially intriguing for the Giants is his versatility. He's worked closely with both the offensive line and the quarterbacks, giving him a broad perspective of how to build an offense. Plus, at 41, he strikes a balance between youth and experience, which is true. You're not bringing in somebody who's 33 years old, But then again, you're not bringing in somebody who's 50-something years old either. So he's young, but he's got some experience still. Giants ownership would be wise to give Stenovich a serious look. Then, of course, the next one would be Todd Monken from the Baltimore Ravens offensive coordinator. Looks like I don't think Todd did a very good job today, as they only scored 12 points in their game. So, although their kicker, Justin Tucker, I don't know what happened to that dude. I mean, last year and all the years before that, the guy never missed it. He kicked 74,000 field goals in a row. Never hasn't missed one in 352 years. And this year he can't make an extra point. Can't kick a field. Can't do nothing. I don't know what the hell happened to that dude this year. Holy cow! Todd Monken has quietly built a resume that screams NFL head coach. After helping the Bulldogs to back-to-back national championships, he returned to the NFL last year and has revitalized Baltimore's offense. The Ravens' balanced attack under Monken has made life easier for Lamar Jackson, except for today. And his ability to tailor schemes to fit personnel is impressive. Monken has also had coaching experience, albeit in the college level, where he helped turn around a struggling Southern Miss program. His no-nonsense approach and knack for developing quarterbacks could be exactly what the Giants need. He may not have the flashiest name on the list, but he's a proven builder, something this franchise desperately needs. Yes. Then, of course, we have another offensive coordinator. Buffalo Bills offense. Wouldn't it be fun? Wouldn't it be something? Get a Buffalo Bills offensive coordinator here, Joe Brady. Joe Brady's name has been buzzing in coaching circles for years. At just 35, he's already had multiple stints as an offensive coordinator, including an impressive resurgence with the Bills this season. Brady's ability to adapt on the fly and maximize talent has put him back in the spotlight after a rocky stretch in Carolina. For the Giants, Brady could bring the youthful energy and innovative play calling they've lacked. He's shown he can work with young quarterbacks, which is crucial if the team plans to move past the failed Daniel Jones experiment. The biggest knock on Brady is his relative inexperience as a leader, but his offensive mind is undeniable. Then, of course, this guy has been. This guy might be at the top of almost all the lists I keep hearing all the time. Is Ben Johnson, the offensive coordinator for obviously the Detroit Lions. If there's one coordinator who feels destined to become a head coach, it's Ben Johnson. His work with the Lions offense has been nothing short of spectacular. Detroit's high-powered creative attack has made them a legitimate Super Bowl contender, and Johnson is one of the main reasons why. However, there are some red flags. Johnson passed on head coaching opportunities last year, reportedly eyeing specific situations like the Chicago Bears, a questionable preference to say the least. If the Giants want to pair him with a new quarterback, they'll need to ensure he's fully committed to the process. Johnson has the skills to turn things around, but his willingness to embrace the challenge in New York remains a question mark. Then I seen, and I got another list here. Let's see, of course. Let's see. Aha, interesting. Assuming Mara walks back his vote on confidence and Daboll is dismissed, here are 11 coaching candidates the Giants could turn to. Although there are plenty more. One of them, they say, is Mike Kafka. Holy cow, huh? The Giants look to clean house from top to bottom. That means assistant head coach and offensive coordinator Mike Kafka is toast too. However, Kafka has been a high commodity over the past 2 head coaching cycles and promises to be again despite having his play calling duties stripped by Daboll this season. He is familiar with ownership, the players, and the building, and it would be the Giants' easiest transition. Yes, it would. Then, of course, we have Bill Belichick. I really don't think Bill, at his age, I don't think Bill would be the man for this one. I mean, he's always wanted to go back, to the Giants and all and everything. I just think at his age, replace Brian Daboll is you can have his ruin. Well, the one thing is that Shane, and the scouting department and Brandon Brown, all they get the guys, right? But they, they don't develop them. They don't put them in position. Shane's not calling them on the phone. Yeah, I need you to put so and so in a guard today. Let's get so and so. Let's start building his foundation at God. And that's why. Then I want you to put so and so, the running back. Well, put him out there tight end. He doesn't do that. He gets the guys, and here you go, Brian. Go play with them. And you run along and you develop them. You know what I mean? So it's so some of it's kind of like is Shane misfiring, right, on some of these picks, or are we just not developing them properly? If we had better coaches, would some of these coaches be developing some of these guys better? Kind of makes you think, But I mean, that's not for Shane. Shane is to go out there and get the players and then give them the Daboll, and so and that's one of the things you're never going to know. But you do see, though, however, a lot of times, sometimes Giants let players go, and then they go someplace else, and they do really well. It's like, oh, guy didn't do that good here. Why is he doing so well over there? So kind of makes you wonder. Does make you wonder. I mean, you got to develop these guys, right? So I'm not too crazy about Belichick. I mean, at his age, I don't know, he's like 71 or 72 or something. I mean, that's just, I mean, I can't see the guy being around that long. The next one would be Mike Vrabel. There you go, right? Vrabel is a defensive-minded coach who picked up the AP Coach of the Year award in 2021 with the Titans. He had a tremendous success in his first 4 seasons, which included 3 consecutive playoff appearances before falling off in 2022 and 2023. Well, you never had a top-notch quarterback either. Give that dude frickin' Patrick Mahomes. I think things might be a little bit different. Give him a Josh Allen. Give him a top-notch quarterback. Right? He did have Derrick Henry, right? So he was a frickin' beast. But he never had a top-notch quarterback. He was fired in January and spent the 2024 season as a consultant for the Cleveland Browns. He will be a hot commodity during the upcoming coaching cycle and may be of interest to the Giants. Steve Spagnuolo. Now, he's a great coordinator. He was never a very good coach. So I don't know why, but I mean, it says it right here. Would the Giants consider going back to the well for a third time? Spagnuolo has etched himself in NFL history as one of the best defensive coordinators ever, but has not shared that same success as a head coach. He was 1-3 as an interim coach with the Giants in 2017. And he was 10-38 as head coach of the then St. Louis Rams. He is beloved by the organization and their fans and may draw interest from several teams come January. But so you figure he's 11-41. It's not good. Now, granted, the teams he was on, were not very good, right? But I mean, he wins 1 out of every 4 football games. I mean, that's not very good. Some guys are really good coordinators, not good coaches. And of course, then they talk about Ben Johnson. He's going to get a lot of interest. Cliff Kingsbury had a slow build in Arizona following a steep fall. His Cardinals exit was abrupt and then followed by a year at USC where he helped develop Caleb Williams. This season, he served as offensive coordinator for the Commanders and really helping out Jaden Daniels, who appears to be a shoo-in for Offensive Rookie of the Year. Kingsbury runs a quarterback-friendly offense and would have his choice of signal callers if we joined the Giants in 2025. I don't know about this one. They're talking about Brian Flores. Now, he was the one going out of his way calling the Giants racist and everything, and I don't see this happening there. And it says here the Giants Flores situation is an ugly one, and it's hard to imagine a scenario where things could get patched up. That's not happening. Flores ain't coming here. He ain't gonna want to come here, and the Giants ain't gonna want him here. That's what happened. Todd Monken. We talked about him already with the Ravens. Bobby Slowick with the Texans. Evero with the Rams, and we talk about him here. Let's say he's 43, has an impressive all-around resume, having coached offense, defense, and special teams at the NFL level. He currently serves as a defensive coordinator at the Carolina Panthers, but his 17 years of experience will intrigue owners and general managers looking for a new coach. He's been a coach to watch for the upcoming cycle and has 8 head coaching interviews already under his belt, including 5 follow-up interviews. Jesse Minter, wow, comes from the John Harbaugh tree, and the former has served as a head coaching campaign manager and media interviews. He's beloved and respected by his players largely due to his open mind and humble approach. Minter has a wealth of experience, having learned under very successful coaches, but has yet to fly on his own. Still, the Giants and several other teams may be intrigued enough to seek an interview. So, I mean, once again, I mean, this is, just, I mean, as of right now, right? Shane will be back. Daboll will be back. I mean, that's what Mara said. So unless we want to get blown out in the final 5 games or so, I don't see anything wind up being different. So.